Are you prepared to navigate today's bond markets for your clients? With decades of experience, MFS has helped advisors uncover fixed income investment opportunities through volatile markets. Learn more at mfs.com.
What's happening, hot stuff? This is the Metal Hammer of Doom, and I am your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Rattledge. And tonight, we're gonna keep you hanging on to that shadow on the wall, baby. Woo! Tonight, covers month, all month long here on the Metal Hammer of Doom. We are going to tackle Mystic Prophecy, Monuments Uncovered, the 10th studio album by German power metal band, as I said before, Mystic Prophecy. And here to help me do that, he wants you to stroke him. He wants to get it on, bang a gong. He's still standing because the night belongs to Jesse Starcher, Tokyo.
Everything was going so right up until we had to force that last one in there.
Like the ending to Venom, it's all the way forced.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Oh my goodness, Mark Rattledge, we are here in the midst of Covers Month, talking about Mystic Prophecy, a band that I got to learn a lot about through our Metal Hammer of Doom extras, and now I have been completely and utterly exposed to the monuments that have been uncovered, and we're going to be talking about those tonight.
I have been listening to this song, like no joke, all year. Like I almost once a day I play this record.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
More than Clutch. More than, I know I gave a lot of A+ this year. Ghost was an amazing album, but if there's one album that has been on repeat, if there's one album that I play when I'm trying to do notes or update spreadsheets at work, if there's one album that I play in the car when my kid says to me, for the love of fuck all, no more podcasts, I don't want to hear all the bad language.
Right. Son.
No, daughter. That would be my daughter.
Okay.
Now, I don't think she says fuck all, but she means fuck all. This is what I put on. January 10th, 2018, Mystic Prophecy dropped Monuments Uncovered, and I'm telling you right now, I don't even think I could rate this thing based on the amount of times I've listened to it. It would be unfair. It would be like A++.
Oh my goodness.
It's off the fucking chart. This is probably my favorite album of the year, but it's like I feel like I should reserve that for original material. So, it's still like Ghost and The Sword and Clutch and all of that. But if you were to say, but what album have you listened to the most? What constantly goes on goes on in the car when you feel the need to turn off the podcast and turn up the noise? It's Monuments Uncovered, Jesse Starcher. Can you feel the heat? Do you want to get it on, bang a gong? You space lord, mother.
I'll review the album with you. Is that good enough? I will absolutely do that. You are the king of covers, so it does not surprise me that a cover album, one such as this, would top your list for the year. And these guys they do a fine job. We'll get into it here, but I might have a few criticisms coming Mystic Prophecy's way, so be ready. Don't get too upset if I have a few negative things to say about some of the covers that they do, because I was tallying some of the stuff that I had issue with, and there's definitely some positives on here. So, but I'm ready, man. I'm ready to scale these monuments. No, would you scale a monument?
You could.
What would you do with a monument?
I mean, technically, if you wanted to scale the Washington Monument like Spider-Man, you could.
Okay, all right. Well, clearly, we're taking the covers, and we're looking at them. No, I'm still at a. I can't do it. Mark.
Are you having a stroke?
I always do, at least once a month, maybe a week.
Normally, you stroke out on your own show, and I figure it's just from being overworked. You're like stroking out on this one.
All right, smooth as butter.
You want to start again?
Let's uncover some monuments. What you say, sir?
Okay. And
what say you?
What say you? All right. Here we go. And might I also add, Proud Mary. All right.
Keep on. Keep it on. All right.
So this album full of covers mainly comes from the 70s and 80s. These are famous rock hits of those two eras, but there is one song that came from the 90s. It's Are You Gonna Go My Way by Lenny Kravitz. But that's not where we're going to start tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start with the one they did a video for. Like an actual, like, proper video. Which I was listening to the Metal Hammer of Doom extras today, and I had forgotten that I guess at one point she drinks blood, because you can clearly hear me gagging.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it got a little rough.
Hot stuff, baby. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a moment. So, here we go, ladies and germs. This is You Keep Me Hanging On by Kim Wilde and the Supremes.
Set me free, why don't you, babe? Get on my life, why don't you, babe? 'Cause you don't really love me. You just keep me hanging on. Set me free, why don't you, babe? Get on my life, why don't you, babe? 'Cause you don't really need me, but you keep me hanging on. Why do you keep coming around, playing with my heart? Why don't you get out of my life and let me make a brand new start? Let me get over you the way you've gotten over me, yeah. Set me free, why don't you, babe? Get out my life, why don't you, babe? 'Cause you don't really love me. You just keep me hanging on. No, you don't really need me. You just keep me hanging on. You say although we broke up, you still just wanna be friends. But how can we still be friends when saying you only breaks my heart again? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Jesse Starcher, you don't really love me. You just keep me hanging on. This is like the ultimate friend zone song. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is.
Especially, I mean, like, it's sung by Kim Wilde and the Supremes originally, so it's, like, meant to be sung in a guy who's stringing a girl along. But isn't it always the girl who strings the guy along? Come on now, let's be serious, okay? Let's put aside the hashtag #MeToo for just a moment, and let's talk real for a little while. Because I feel like it's always the girl who wants to keep, that friend that she doesn't really want his dick inside of her, but the rest of him she's okay with, and so she keeps him hanging on to the idea that he might give her the baloney pony, but she's never going to let it happen. So she keeps him hanging on, and then at some point he comes to the realization that she don't really love him. You know what I mean?
But he's stuck. He's so much in love with her, he just cannot get away. As much as he would like to, she continues to keep him hanging on. I am very familiar with the Kim Wilde version of this. As a matter of fact, I think I've listened to the Kim Wilde version at least 5 or 6 times in the past month, as me and the wife have been listening to an 80s playlist on Spotify here recently. And I've always dug that song. I've always thought that it's kind of depressing, but it's a good song nonetheless.
I like to sing it at people, accusatory like.
You just keep me hanging on.
I like to walk around work and point at various women I work with and tell them that you don't really love me. You just keep me hanging on. Here's the problem: some of the women I work with are like flirty to a point, and then after that point, they're just like, nope. This one. I was singing it at this one woman, and she was just like, I feel like I need to call the wambulance for you. I'm like, all right,
goodness.
This took a left turn that I wasn't anticipating.
The wambulance. My goodness.
In defense of all that, though, it was because before that we were doing a bit where I kept saying that she was triggering me and that I felt traumatized and that I was calling human resources on her. Like I was doing the whole millennial thing.
You haven't. How many more people can we offend? In 5 minutes. 5 minutes and one song. We have ostracized like generations. We have ostracized sexes.
What did I say? What did I say that was wrong?
No, sir, you're fine.
Thank you.
I here's the thing. I believe that.
Don't trigger me, Jesse Starcher.
I'll
tweet about you, and your life will be ruined.
Don't do that. Last thing I need is doxed and all that other BS. So just leave me alone. You've heard of the term doxing, I assume, right?
Docking? I don't want to do that with you, sir. The gay jokes are just jokes. I don't. Well, this took a weird turn.
Oh boy, you did not pick up. It's I think it's DOCX. I could be wrong. Anyway, either way, I don't want it to happen to me. Either one. Actually.
What is doxing? And I'm assuming it's DOX because you wouldn't put a C there.
Doxing, when a group of people decide to dig into your web life, I guess you would say, and things that you may have said in the past, along with a lot of personal information may also get leaked onto the internet. You are considered doxed, I believe. Now, I am guessing at that, but it's usually deemed as a threatening gesture to dox someone. You don't want to dox them because you're exposing them for things that they've said in the past in order to try and get them in trouble. So, James Gunn.
I say weird shit that would normally get me in trouble on every podcast. I don't know what doxing me would accomplish.
Here you go. I've got doxing meaning right here in front of me. Doxing, DOXING, is the internet-based practice of researching and broadcasting private or identifiable information, especially personally identifiable information about an individual organization.
This podcast has my last name in it, and it's not like... All right.
Yeah, I know. You have nothing to hide, sir. Trust me.
No, I really don't.
Okay, so back to the cover.
Yes.
By Mystic Prophecy. They did a fine job here. I think they did a great job.
This kicks fucking ass, man. It's a great way to kick off the album. But I'll tell you, this next track, Jesse.
Oh, get ready. The juices are flowing. It's getting warm.
Speaking of singing songs at people, I'm all about singing this song at everybody I can get in front of me. I'm all about spreading my hot stuff everywhere I can.
Maybe, yeah.
This song is the most amazing cover I've ever heard in my life. They did such a phenomenal job with this. I don't even know what to do with myself. The year is over after we play this song, by the way. It's just, we're done.
Oh, no.
Okay? It's not
October is the end of the Metal Hammer of Doom, 9/28.
It's not getting any better than this next song, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for some hot stuff.
Sitting here reading my heart out, waiting for some lover to call. Died about 1,000 numbers lately, almost rang the phone off the wall. Looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. I need some hot stuff, baby, tonight. I want some hot stuff, baby, this evening. Gotta have some hot stuff, gotta have some love tonight. Oh, hot stuff. Yes, I need a hot stuff. I want some hot stuff. I need some hot stuff.
Oh, it's just not fair. It's not fair, Jesse. I want to play more hot stuff. Ugh. I can't even take it. I never want that song to end. It's so good.
Hot stuff. Now, for some reason, I'm going to completely derail your joy here. Granted, every time I hear this song, I think of pizza. Now, you would ask me, sir, why would you even... How could you associate the two? Have you ever seen hot stuff pizza before? You ever heard of it?
What the fuck is hot stuff pizza?
Type it in, sir. There is such a thing as hot stuff pizza.
All right.
And when you cannot tear the two apart after thinking and seeing hot stuff and this hot stuff pizza and this song. Because if you want some hot stuff, baby, this evening, you want a nice pepperoni slice of pizza. That's what comes to mind every time I hear this song. So yes, hot stuff pizza is a thing. But now, if we're just talking about the song, Mark, I understand completely where you're coming from. You exposed me to this song. A lot of exposing tonight, by the way. You exposed me to the hot stuff there. What was it? I think it had to have been a Metal Hammer of Doom Extra or something. Maybe it was right here on the Metal Hammer of Doom. You're just like, dude,
here's
you gotta
what happened.
listen to this.
Here's what happened. They dropped this album January 10th, and shortly after that, we switched from Blog Talk Radio to Spreaker. Then we were trying to figure out, because of the way that Spreaker works, we were trying to figure out how
to play music.
Right. And so the one track that we kept playing over and over again was Hot Stuff, because I was obsessed with that song. And yes, there is in fact a Hot Stuff pizza.
That is right.
Yep, the closest one to me is, by the way, in Clearwater, Florida. I just want you to know that. I wouldn't go to Clearwater right now. Well, I wouldn't go to Clearwater right now. There's a hurricane a-brewing.
The old Michael. I understand.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Originally sung by Donna Summer, which I did a little bit of research there. I saw where she was I've heard of her before. A lot of people probably have. But I didn't realize that she had passed away in 2012 at the age of 63. So, lady that was very, very popular during the disco era. And this song, I don't know if she's done anything as good. I don't know. I'm looking at a few here. Hot Stuff is a good one. And then we have, Mark, I'm going to throw some titles at you. You tell me if you've heard of these. Love to Love You, Baby.
Does not sound familiar, no.
MacArthur Park. Okay, that sounds familiar.
Yes.
We've talked about that before. I think.
Someone left my cake out in the rain.
Okay, there we go. And I'm just looking at it. She did a duet with Barbra Streisand called No More Tears, and that's not. I assume Ozzy did not cover that, but I could be wrong.
No, I don't think that's the same version.
But yeah, man. Mystic Prophecy hit another one out of the park with this one. They did a good job.
Here's what I like about these. These are already like catchy songs, and they're not really adding anything to them. In the sense that they're really not taking it their own way. They're just they're playing them as like poppy power metal songs.
Yeah.
And so they're adding this, I don't want to keep using the word power, but they're really adding power to what was already a catchy tune, and it makes it kick that much more ass.
I agree. This one, these first two especially, I think they did a great job. I have criticisms as we go through the album here. There's a couple songs I'll point out where I don't think they did as good as a job as they should have. But as for Hot Stuff, man, I don't know if you can get any better on this album. I'm trying to think if there's...
The answer is no. We peaked
I know
early.
For you, definitely not. Yeah, man. I think there's only one other that may beat it. When we get to it, I'll tell you what it is. But you like the Hot Stuff?
Oh, I love Hot Stuff. Can I tell you what an old fat guy I am? So I've had like sciatica pain down my left leg for the past 2 days, and then before I took my shirt off before this podcast, I got out of my scrubs and everything, and I was like, my wife's like, "You got a podcast?" And I'm like, "Podcast? I got Hot Stuff, baby!" And I start dancing in front of her, and everything hurt. Everything hurt from shaking my rump and doing the. By the way, so. Yesterday, I was telling my kids, like, "Hey, tomorrow is Hump Day," and I immediately made the Amazon Echo play the Humpty Hump.
Oh, good for you.
Which then turned into my daughter's tooth being loose. So then I put on Wiggle It.
Just a little bit.
Yes. So as my daughter is crying in hysterics because she thinks it's going to hurt if her tooth comes out. She's going to be 8 years old, by the way. But as she's crying in hysterics, my son, my wife, and I are all dancing around the table like fucking, I don't know, cherubs. And we're all just going Wiggle It just a little bit. Meanwhile, she's just a face full of tears.
She's having a meltdown. Yeah, she's having a meltdown.
She's having a meltdown. We're all going Wiggle It just a little bit. As it grooves, Wiggle It. Parenting done right. All right.
Oh, that's right, buddy. That's right.
Okay, let's move on to this next one. This is a Mike Oldfield cover. I don't even know who that is, but
I'll learn you one here when we're done.
Here we go with the old Shadow on the Wall. Shadow on the Wall, baby, yeah. That's another powerful song right there. All right, who the fuck is Mike Oldfield?
Mike Oldfield. Well, I don't know off the top of my head, so I head to the old wiki here just to let us know. The man is still kicking it from what I can see, 65 years of age. This particular song came out in the 80s, specifically 1983, and I've heard it before. I don't know where. Normally, I know I've shared this story over and over. We have one hard rock station down here in Lanford, Ohio. And, I used to listen to that all the time, and they would play quite a few things that we're actually listening to on this album. So most likely I've probably heard that before on there. A lot of these albums, though, I don't even recognize that he did. But this is an early 80s hit that apparently it was a monument that Mystic Prophecy decided to uncover. And I don't think it's a bad song. I don't mind it.
It's really great.
Heavy.
Yeah, I think again, I think it works. It's like a power metal song, and I enjoy the lyrics to it. These first three are so good. I mean, granted, I love Hot Stuff the most, but really, you keep me hanging on Hot Stuff and Shadow on the Wall. Like, they come roaring out of the gate, and then hit the wall with this next one.
Oh, you're not a fan of Living. Oh, well, we'll talk about that after you play it.
Yeah, let's just talk about it right now. I'm not the hugest fan of Lenny Kravitz, and Are You Gonna Go My Way is, to me, not a great song. Their version of it's fine, but it's like, when you compare it to the first three, it's definitely lacking and leave me wanting more, more, more. How do you like it? How do you like it? More, more, more.
Okay. Any particular reason why you're not a Kravitz fan? You just not a fan, or
just not a fan? I don't know. Some of the Kravitz stuff is okay. I
can tell you that. I was just going to say, this song certainly was not covered. It's not like they had to dig deep for this one, because this is like his hit.
Right. Yeah. I feel like it might be one of those where it just got so much airplay that it drove me away from it. So, like, it's already like just an okay song, but then I heard it like it was like "Fly" by Sugar Ray, which it got played so much that every time I heard it, I wanted to drive my car into the ditch. So, here we go. Mystic Prophecy did the best they could with a song that most people like. So, who am I to judge? This is "Are You Gonna Go My Way?" Alrighty. Are you going to go my way? No, I'm not, Lenny.
Let me tell you where this song jumps the shark, okay?
Okay.
It's about the point where we hit the one verse that goes, "So tell me why we got to die and kill each other one by one." That makes sense. I understand that. We've got to hug and rub-a-dub. You ever rub-a-dub? You got to hug and rub-a-dub.
I used to rub my dub every night, but I'm getting old now, and I don't got time for that shit.
The wife's a light sleeper. I just, I've always wondered, and today it has been confirmed, if that was the actual lyric. I was like, certainly, it's not that cheesy. He isn't saying we've got to hug and rub a dub. Nope. That is exactly what Metro Lyrics is saying that this man is getting across in his song. So I'm right there with you. I mean, this is like.
Let me first tell you what I think of that line. Gay.
I agree with you. This is probably one of the most overplayed songs from the 90s that I can remember. So, I don't understand how they're going to consider it uncovered. When I think of Monuments Uncovered, I think that they've gone and found like some of the stuff that's been forgotten. Trust me, this shit has not been forgotten, at least not here in the United States. So maybe over there where they're from, but not here.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Moving
All right,
on.
so this next one, right? This is I'm Still Standing. I'm Still Standing. Reference.
No idea.
Yeah, it's an anal cunt reference. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Guy just yells out, I'm still standing.
All right.
You ever listen to much anal cunt?
I think I have been forced to do so on this podcast one time.
Okay. You play any anal cunt around the house? Do you like play it for the kids?
Oh yeah, all the time.
You should play You should play the anal cunt cover of Staying Alive.
Wonderful. I'll put it on the list. It's going on my playlist.
Anyway, this next one is not anal cunt. It's Elton John, so that's close.
Oh.
And I'll tell you a little story about the I'm Still Standing here, a little quick one. So I was playing this in the car because, again, my daughter is Miss Goody Two Shoes. Goody, goody, goody two shoes. I don't drink, don't smoke. Don't drink, don't smoke. That's my daughter. She's Patty Simcox. And
Gotcha.
she's not into the bad language. She doesn't like to hear the podcast where they say the dirty words. She, or the stand-up comedy where they say things that good people
Shouldn't be saying. Yeah,
shouldn't
I
be
got
saying. So she insists that I put on the music. And now with the music, she'll listen to just about anything: death metal, power metal, all kinds of metal. She'll listen to it and she'll be happy. She likes some of Daddy's music, not all of it, but most of it. Okay, so I put this on because this isn't offensive. And she's digging it. And then this next song came on, and I hear her singing in the back seat. I'm like, how the fuck do you know I'm Still Standing by Elton John? Like, I don't play much Elton John in the house, if ever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how do you know this song? She's like, this is from Sing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So here we go. My daughter's favorite song off Mystic Prophecy's Monuments Uncovered. This is I'm Still Standing by the Elton John.
Just like guys, there's a cold, lonely light that shines from you. You're wind up like the way you hide behind the mask you use. And if you think this one could never win, well, look at me, I'm coming back again. I got a taste of love in a simple way. And if you need to know while I'm still standing, you just fade away. Don't you know I'm still standing, better than I ever did, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. And I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Here's what's great about this selection of covers. Monuments Uncovered is just a series of anthems.
Okay.
These could all be sung by a hero standing on a hill, shaking his fist at God. I'm Still Standing, Jesse Starcher. It's a song that occurs at the end of the movie, with the hero having stood against all odds, and he's still standing, baby. It's so good. And, when you add that element of power metal to it, it makes it that much stronger, that much better, that much, heartfelt. It's just a great song. Great anthem.
I like the way you're talking there, because really this is perfect for a power metal band to be covering, because it's positive. It's all about, just like you said, the hero at the end of the day who's gone through all these trials and tribulations, and now is still alive to talk about it. So I think, yeah, and this I think is one of their better metal covers off of here. I think one of the hardest things that I've tried to deal with listening to this album was, first off, I'm not the covers guy that you are. I know you love covers, and I've talked about how in the past, covers sometimes don't do it for me. We've got to have a band that if they cover a song, I want to feel the flavor of that band coursing through that song instead of the original artist. So it's really tough to do that when all the lyrics were written by the original artist. But the elements of the power metal guitar and all those riffs that we hear, stuff that blend in easily to make this a recognizable cover, but also make it a standout Mystic Prophecy cover, in my opinion. So this one gets high marks for me when it comes to covering a song that really, I don't know if I would have actually considered this something that could have even been covered by a metal band, but they did a perfect job.
They did. Even my daughter enjoyed it. I'll tell you what, though. I can think back to one of the cover shows that we did. It might have been the one where you ripped off the Victory from me for no apparent reason.
I don't know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. We don't need to rehash this for the millionth time. But it was that show where I played for you the cover of Renegades, and you were like, and I really expected you to dig it, and you were like, it's meh. And I played it for my wife recently, and she had the same reaction. She was like, not as good as the original. And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? I love that cover of Renegades, but it's like you're saying, like, sometimes you get a cover of something and they really put their own spin on it and turn it into something new, and and it becomes wonderful. The Korn and Slipknot live cover in England of Sabotage, where it felt distinctly Korn and Slipknot.
Yes.
Yes. Is a really good example of what we're talking about here. All right, this next one right here in our show. Now, I don't know if you knew this, because, and I actually had to take a second look at it, because I know Because the Night from the 10,000 Maniacs performance of the song.
Okay.
But Because the Night is actually Patti Smith. Do you know what was also a Patti Smith song?
Tell me.
Rock and Roll Nigger.
Oh my goodness, I had no idea.
Have you ever heard Rock and Roll Nigger?
Please don't go searching for stuff that's you are.
Let me tell you something about rock and roll.
Is there a checkbox? Is there like a checkbox of offensive things that you've got to do on every podcast? Like, okay, did that one. All right, now I only got 3 to go, and it's a bingo. Great. Jeez, I'm telling you. No, actually, for some reason, that strikes a chord in my memory. Like either you brought it up, or it's been. I've seen it before. So why don't you go ahead and explain to me? You sure have.
Well, Rock and Roll Nigger is a very famous song by Patti Smith. And it was brought back and made even more famous when Marilyn Manson covered it on their Smells Like Children EP.
Oh, maybe that's what I might be thinking of, because we covered that most recent album by him, and that probably came up on that podcast. But go ahead. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so Patti Smith, known for Rock and Roll Nigger, and apparently because I'm going to say it at least 10 more times just because I can.
Oh, boy. Go ahead. Get it out, Mark.
What was I just talking about, Jesse?
Patti Smith. Yes, indeed.
If Jesse's so mortified doing this podcast, he's currently doing it in a top hat and mustache.
Oh man.
You can't see him, but he's still afraid someone might recognize him.
Big dark glasses. Yep.
All right. Anyway, moving on. So I didn't know that Because the Night was actually originally a Patti Smith song, and I've always known it as a 10,000 Maniacs, but apparently it's not. It's originally by Patti Smith. Now it's a Mystic Prophecy cover. Here we go. Are you familiar with Because the Night Belongs to Lovers? Because the Night Belongs to Us?
For some reason, I'm thinking I've heard this song before because it doesn't. I remember there's only like 2 off of here that I didn't recognize, and I don't recall this being one of them. But hit play, and I'm going to see if it jogs a memory here.
All right, children, here we go. This is Because the Night.
Take me in now, baby, here as I am. Pull me close, try to understand. Desire is a hunger, is a fire I breathe. Love is a banquet on which we feed. Come on now, try to understand the way I feel when I'm in your hands. Take my hand, come undercover. They can't hurt you now, can't hurt you now, can't hurt you now. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to us. Ever doubt when I'm alone? Love is a ring, the telephone. Love is an angel disguised as lust, here in our bed until the morning comes. Come on now, try to understand the way I feel under your command. Take my hand as the sun descends. They can't touch you now, can't touch you now, can't touch you now. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to lovers. Because the night belongs to us.
I'm going to tell you a secret, Jesse.
Oh
Come closer.
no.
I want to tell you a secret.
Okay.
My secret wish, is that these podcasts that we do on the Rattlegion Broadcasting Network, especially this one, I wish that, like, middle school kids have discovered them
Okay.
and hear me do bits like the last one I did on Patti
no.
Smith
Yeah.
and think, hey, if this 42-year-old guy can do it, so can we, and we'll now run to school tomorrow screaming, have you heard Patti Smith's Rock and Roll Nigger? Well, Marilyn Manson did a cover of Rock and Roll Nigger. Have you heard it? And then, like, they'll get in trouble and be like, oh, but it's just the name of a song. I wasn't using bad language, teacher. This is my hope.
Your dream is to inspire rebellion?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well,
My dream is for middle school kids to find this shit hilarious and do it in school.
and then get in trouble.
And
way to go, Mark Radlich.
I like to I like to inspire rebellion. I think kids should show their ass. Not to me,
Well,
by the way. I don't want to see any of it. But
yeah, let's make this perfectly clear.
don't
go into school, say the N-word, but do not show Mark your ass.
Yeah,
okay?
don't do it around me. I work in a jail. I'll put you on suicide watch. But go to school and have fun with the adults there.
I'm going to go ahead and read real quick, just so our listeners who haven't turned the podcast off yet can understand what and I'm going to read this straight from the wiki here. Rock and Roll Nigger, okay? Here we go. So, yes, Patti Smith, who is white, by the way, did this song, and this came out in 1978 on an album called Easter. Oh, okay. So, in the song, Smith self-identifies as a nigger, meaning a rebellious and honorable outsider. Rebellious and honorable outsider. Duncombe and Tremblay suggest in White Riot that Smith is continuing Norman Mailer's tradition of the white Negro, adopting black culture to express things she believes her own culture will not allow, and rejecting the oppression white culture has historically imposed on others. So the song is actually more of a tribute to, according to her, okay, that it's more of a tribute to facing society as a rebellious person.
See?
And granted, because of the racial epithet, according here, this is under reception. Can you guess how this got received, Mark Radlich? How did radio play this over and over in 1978? The correct answer is no.
You didn't give me a chance to answer, but I was going to go with poorly.
So yeah. In 1978, they're not going to be playing a song with that word in it. But very interesting. I've never heard.
What word, Jesse?
I've already said it once. and hear me quote the wiki evermore.
Hey, Mark, what is your podcast about? Mostly, it's about me trying to embarrass the other guy on the podcast.
I wish Ronnie Adams was here right now, because I would at least be able to maybe have you poke the fun at him and me join in.
Yeah, what you want is Ronnie to be your human shield. That's what you really want.
Yes, every week. Every week. So, this song, by the way, yes, I have heard this song, and most likely it was the 10,000 Maniacs release of this one, which, did that come out in the 80s as well? I assume it did. But, yeah, I recall this song being played quite often. And this is an okay cover of it. I mean,
here's the thing. I really like the song. I love the 10,000 Maniacs iteration of it. So just hearing a version of that is fine with me. It's not special or anything. It's not as powerful as 4 of the last 5 songs. But I like the song enough to where I can give it a lot of latitude.
I hear you there. I hear you.
All right, let's move on. Let's close the book on this bit. Children, you know what to do now.
Are you the Mark Radlich that actually, really just kind of told kids to go and say that at school? Well, yes, I am. All right, just making sure.
I believe that you should go and listen to folk music, yes. And Patti Smith was a folk singer. So there.
Righty then. What's next? Wait a second. What do we got coming up next? Okay, I'm ready for this one.
All right, so this next one is a Monster Magnet cover. We discussed Monster Magnet earlier this year. We might have actually even looked at the video for this on the Metal Hammer of Doom Extras. In those early days, remember the early days of the Metal Hammer of Doom Extras, Jesse?
Oh, yeah.
Where we would start with looking at one band and then go down a rabbit hole an hour later and come out, with God only knows what. A lot of content that hasn't seen the light of day as of yet. Where's my November Rain, Jesse? Where is it?
In the vault. It ain't November yet. How's that?
Oh goodness gracious.
I put a time frame on it. It gives me a month.
I thought Space Lord came out in the 90s. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it was
There's no way. It had to have come out in the 90s.
Can you... All right, you're on the assignment. Go find when Space Lord was released. Here we go, ladies and germs. This is Space Lord Mother Mother.
I've been stuffed in your pocket for the last 100 days. When I don't get my bath, I take it out on the slaves. So grease up your baby for the ball on the hill. I'm polish them rockets now and swallow those pills and say, Space Space Lord, mother, mother. There's a car in the field now, a color of flame, with 2 doors to choose, but only one bears your name. You've been drinking my blood, well, I've been licking your wounds. Well, I shave up your pitch now and the scope of your tune. You'll sing, Space Lord, mother, mother. Yeah, yeah. I left my throne a million miles away. I drink from your tin, I sing the blues every day. Now give me the strength to split the world in two. Yeah, I hate all the rest, and now I've got you. Well, I say, my nightmares are choosing my name. You're stroking my cortex, you know I'm insane. I'm squeezed out of hum drive, and I'm drowning in love. Encompass immortal, position above, and sing, Space Lord, mother, mother.
All right, Jesse, what you got for me?
1998, Space Lord was released from Monster Magnet. From what I can see, it's a 1998 single. So yeah, this is probably "Are You Gonna Go My Way" probably came out maybe a year or two before that, or right around that time. So,
Well, it's just like the Wikipedia, someone's got to correct this because it says Monuments Uncovered is the 10th studio album by German power metal band Mystic Prophecy. It was released by Massacre Records on the 12th of January. Contains 11 metal cover tracks of famous rock hits, primarily from the 70s and 80s, with the exception of "Are You Gonna Go My Way," making it the only song releasing from the 90s, which is horseshit.
That's incorrect. Incorrect.
What the fuck diddly-uck?
Well, that's the Wikipedia for you. That's all right, though.
Source.
That's what we're here for.
Hang on. Source. Official Mystic Prophecy homepage.
Really? That needs corrected then.
Yeah.
I'll go there right now. I'll just take a look, see if that's on there. But, yeah, click on that, and it'll take you to the file not found. Requested URL is not found. So that link that they even put down there is incorrect.
I will also tell you that Space Lord Mother Mother doesn't really fit on this album. Like, I don't feel like it's a monument.
I can tell you that in my eyes, this is the worst cover off of this album.
Yeah, it's not great.
I mean, it is like they're just trying to imitate these guys, Monster Magnet. So I didn't dig it. I was like, man, you guys are just pretty much, you're doing exactly what the guys from Monster Magnet did. There's nothing in here that makes me feel like there's anything that identifies Mystic Prophecy as doing this cover. Like, oh yeah, there's that Mystic Prophecy flair. Didn't get it. I mean, that's just... If
you just threw this on and said, what do you think this is? I'd be like, oh, it's the Monster Magnet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, this is a different version of Monster Magnet. I've never heard this one before.
Right.
Oh, it's not them. Oh, well, okay.
All right, this next one is Jesse Stark's favorite song off of here.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Jesse, are you ready to get it on?
Wow, bang a gong.
Here we go. Crap. You'll have to give me a moment, folks. We're having technical difficulties. My mouse just died. So, give me a moment. And it died just as I was making it to where Jesse can't hear me. So, just hang on. We'll get going in just a few seconds. Bang a gong, here we go. I can't even pause the recording because stupid mouse. So I have one of these mouse. I have a mouse that's Bluetooth, and occasionally it just loses the connection. Like it has nothing, like the battery is not a problem or whatever. It's got fresh batteries in it, but occasionally, like I said, it'll just fucking lose the connection to the computer, and I gotta wait for it to reset itself. So that's what we're doing now. We're waiting. No, I don't need batteries for it. It's fine. Let's turn it off. Let's turn it back on again. Let it go through its cycle. It's just what you want to hear on the Metal Hammer of Doom, huh? Me arguing with my stupid mouse. And I say, oh, Space Lord, mother. Sure. Jesse wants to know if he wants me to vamp.
All right, as if you couldn't tell, that right there was not Bang a Gong, Get It On. We're in the midst of some technical issues on Mark's end here, so he's in the middle of getting those fixed. So while we're doing that, what I will do is I'm just going to go ahead and hop on over to the lyrics. We'll get a good taste of this T-Rex cover here in a minute. But I want to talk about why I do not like this song. This is got to be the stupidest song that was ever created in whatever year it was made, okay? So here we go. Now, if you are familiar with this song, great. If not, I want you to listen to these lyrics and try to tell me if you can think or figure out what is going on, all right? So the title of the song, Get It On. Well, that kind of it definitely exudes some sexual, some kind of sexual reference. And here we go. You're dirty and sweet, clad in black. Don't look back, and I love you. You're dirty and sweet. Oh yeah. Now here's the thing. The phrase "dirty and sweet." Mark, are you back yet? He's not back. Dirty and sweet is repeated ad nauseum through this song. It's like they just ran out of descriptors to talk about this girl. I assume they're talking about a girl. And their idea of expressing their affection for her. Oh my goodness.
Bang a gong.
Mark Radulich, you just ever have the compulsion to make love to a brass instrument? You ever just want to bang a gong?
I know Tom Hardy in his portrayal of Eddie Brock banged the set.
Oh, yes, that's what I heard.
Fuck the scenery left and right.
Okay, so, yeah, as I was saying there, this song, early 70s, according to what I see here, is what I believe when this came out. And I can tell you that it just seems like the thinnest piece of fluff for a song I've heard in quite a while. Now, Ronnie Adams, he seems to be a big fan of the T-Rex. I assume T's short for Theodore, maybe. I don't know. Theodore Rex. But, man, the lyrics on this thing are just outrageous and flimsy. Dirty and sweet. Mark Radlich, if Melissa walked up to you, rubbed you on your shoulder and said, well, you're built like a car, you've got a hubcap Diamond Star halo.
I'd give her points for creativity.
You're built like a car? Oh, yeah. I mean, come on, man.
Unfortunately, these days I am built like a car. I'm built like a fucking... I'm built like a Toyota.
You're built like a T-Rex?
No, I'm built like a minivan.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just... Has she ever called you dirty and sweet or dirty sweet?
I don't think she's ever referred to me as sweet. She's definitely referred to me as dirty.
I could see that. You're dirty, sweet, and you're my girl. I mean, I'm done. I don't like this song, Mark Radlich. I think that...
Well, let me ask... You say you don't like this. Would you listen to it in a box?
Nope.
Would you listen to it with a fox?
Nope.
Would you listen to it in a tree?
No.
How about on a boat?
Nope.
On a train?
Nope.
In the rain?
Never. Is my cake out in the rain is my question.
Oh, boy. You go from Dr. Seuss right back to MacArthur Park.
This is a very popular song, too. And I remember hearing it the first
Ministry,
time. I was like, okay,
Ministry covered it.
And I'm just not, remember Battleship Chains? Volbeat covered. This is in the realm of Battleship Chains. Okay?
I don't think it's that bad.
It's bad, Mark. I mean, Get It On, Bang a Gong.
And talking about fucking Jesse Starcher, bang a gong, hit the nipple. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Hit the nipple. I have never been told, hey, did you bang that gong last night?
That's how I do it. I bang my wife's gong all the time.
Great. That's great. Great.
Come on, Jesse Starcher. You want to get it on, bang a gong.
Get it on. I mean, it's a fun song to sing, but it makes absolutely no sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Sure.
It's the whole song's about sex,
difficult.
Jesse. No, I'm not being difficult.
Okay.
Read the lyrics again. Read it again.
You want me to hear? Let's focus on the car part. I mean, you're built like a car. You've got a hubcap Diamond Star halo.
Okay.
What fucking sense does that shit make?
Okay, he's saying she's got a big ass. She's got a great ass, Jesse Starcher.
Great ass.
She likes to get Richard Nixon in that ass. Well,
here's the problem, Mark.
Olivia Munn's buns.
Earlier in the song, he says, well, you're slim and you're weak. You've got the teeth of the Hydra upon you. What?
Yeah, it means like she's succumbing to him.
Save it. Okay? You're not even going to come near convincing me
this
song
all about sticking dick in vagina. That's the whole song.
Not one of these references make me go, oh yeah, he's definitely talking about banging a chick. Other than Get It On. That's it. That is it. So, I'm sorry, Mark. All
right. Hey, could you please give out your Twitter? Because I need people to talk to you about this.
Oh. Stiznarkey at Stiznarkey on Twitter. That's where you need to go. And you're more than welcome to explain to me what all this nonsense means.
Okay, if people can explain to Jesse the birds and the bees with reference to Get It On, please tweet him at Stiznarkey on Twitter. Thank you. Let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the moon up above and this thing called love.
Mark Radlich covers the classics right here. Metal Hammer of Doom.
Oh, tie a yellow ribbon. Now I'm doing a bit from Amazon Women on the Moon. You ever see it?
Never heard of it.
Are you serious? You've never seen Amazon? Did you grow up in this country?
Yes, sir.
Were you allowed to watch movies, or have you always been a Muslim? Like, I don't understand.
What? Amazon Women from the Moon?
Amazon Women on the Moon.
Is it black and white?
No. Well, some of it is, but... Okay, so it's a sketch movie. Okay? It's a series of sketches. Came out in the 80s. Has a young David Alan Grier as Don No Soul Simmons. I've never played for you the Don No Soul Simmons stuff.
All of a sudden, it's starting to sound familiar.
Because I feel like I've shared at least that much with you.
I swear I've heard of that.
Yeah.
David Alan Grier, I'm going to have to look it up. That must be, like, required viewing on my part at some point.
Yeah, go look up... okay, during this next song, which nobody cares about, it's called Tokyo, who gives a shit? While I'm doing that and having to deal with it, I want you to Google Don No Soul Simmons Amazon Women on the Moon.
Got it.
All right, here we go. And then I need a report when you're done with that video. Like, don't even come back until the video's done. Got it?
Oh, got it.
All right, folks, here we go. This is Tokyo.
Tokyo! 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 Time of my life. A city light shine down on me. I'm feeling the glow. Hold me 'cause the crowded streets are sound in the night. I'm spending my time here with you. I've got nothing to lose. Again and again I have to give in. I might have to choose. 'Cause I fell in love with a Japanese girl, and I got a woman at home. I guess it's time to face the truth. Can't take no more. Tokyo, Tokyo, time of my life. Tokyo, Tokyo, time of my life.
All right, Jesse.
This looks like a movie I'd probably like.
So the whole premise to Amazon Women on the Moon is, like I said, it's a series of sketches that are tied together around the idea that there's a guy that you, the viewer, are flipping channels, and and the central feature is it's like one of those late night movies on like a local broadcast channel, and so they're playing a black and white B movie, Amazon Women on the Moon, right?
Got it.
But the guy keeps flipping off the movie, or the movie itself like keeps having technical issues. And so during those technical issues, he switches to something else. And so there would be like commercials, or he'd start watching another show. So like one of them is a skit about a Playboy bunny, and it's like a day in her life, and she's just walking around the mall naked.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's Don No Soul Simmons. It starts off like the first sketch is Arsenio Hall versus The Apartment, where The Apartment's trying to kill him. It's hilarious. It's the fucking funniest thing ever.
1987.
No, there ain't no fucking Thelma here, man. And it ends with Andrew Dice Clay. But let me tell you how it ends, right? So it ends with a guy watching an interactive POV porn. And in the middle of the guy like getting off to this porn, Andrew Dice Clay walks into the movie, and he's like, Ray, because like every movie is got like just a first name. So there's like Michael, George, and then he rents the one that's his name. It's Ray. So it seems like he's in the movie. So I was just like, Ray, I thought you were better than this, Ray.
Fucking Andrew Dice Clay giving somebody a fucking speech, whatever.
It's so good. It's probably, the whole thing's probably available on YouTube. It's definitely a sit down and must watch.
I was going to say 1987. I was reading the description here, and the Don No Soul Simmons. Some funny stuff. Well, I've learned myself one here tonight.
Yeah, I have definitely gotten a lot of mileage out of Don No Soul Simmons. So if you're listening, junior high kids, Google Don No Soul Simmons and then run around your school singing, tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. It's been 2 long years. Do you still want me? Oh, tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree.
Pretty tame.
You
Pretty
still
tame stuff.
Want me?
All right. Mark Radulich covers Don No Soul Simmons right here on the Metal Hammer of Doom.
That's right. I have a voice of an angel, don't I?
Yeah, sure. I'll agree with it.
All right, here we go. What did you think of Tokyo? I thought I didn't think much of it. I got to be honest.
I didn't know I thought it was a Kiss song at first, and I don't know why. I've never heard of the band Tokyo. I didn't even know they existed, but apparently they did.
All right, so this next one is by Clearance Clearwater Revival, baby. Proud Mary, keep on burning. Yeah, that one I could have done without.
Really now?
Yeah, I didn't. I've heard better, more powerful versions of the song than that. I wasn't crazy about it.
It's one of probably, if not the most popular song off of here. I think that has, at least in the mainstream, by the original artist. Would you say? I mean, looking at the rest of them, yeah, there's some popular stuff on here, but I'll tell you right now, I think "Proud Mary." I mean, even my mom's heard that song. So,
it's definitely a very popular song. It's just that version of it's not very good.
CCR. I like CCR. They got some great stuff.
Oh, sure.
Proud Mary's probably one of their best off of there, too. But probably one of their best songs that I remember from CCR. Man, they got a lot of good things. I'm just going down through the wiki and seeing some of the good stuff. But back to the cover. I mean, I don't know. I think I dug it because it starts out pretty heavy there at the beginning. And it wasn't bad. I mean, if I had to pick between Get It On and Proud Mary, guess what? Get It On is off of this album. So, but okay, all right. Well, I understand where you're coming from there.
All right, everyone. This is what Jesse's been waiting for all night long. He's ready to stroke it.
Oh yeah, bring it on.
I'm stroking. By the way, you got me yelling that at work now. I'll just like people are doing stuff, and I'll just randomly stick my head and go stroke it.
I've been stroking.
I've been stroking. All right, that's not this song though.
Unfortunately, it would have been so great.
Oh, it would have been awesome. All right, here's our last song of the night. Stroking. This is a Billy Squire song. It's not stroking. It is in fact called The Stroke.
Now everybody, have you heard? If you're in the game, then the stroke's the world. killing, grab you violent. Put your right hand out, give a firm handshake. Talk to me about the one big break. Spread your air pollution, pour far and wide. Give your contributions, by your side and struck me. Could be a winner by moonlight or will. Struck me. Stroke! Struck me. You got your number down. Struck me. Say you're a winner, but man, you're just a sinner now.
Oh, yeah. Strogan. They finished strong with that one. A+ for me. I mean, were there some songs that we talked about on here that I'm like, meh, they're all right. I don't know if I gave Power Glove a grade. It was, we spent a lot of time talking about video games on that one. If I haven't given it a grade yet, I'll go ahead and just give it a B. This one gets an A+ for me. It's so good. Even, like I said, there are a handful of songs I'm like, not. Nothing is so long or so offensive on here it takes me out of the album. This is one where I can just listen to it on a loop and never get tired of it. From You Keep Me Hanging On through The Stroke, even with Space Lord and Tokyo in there, it's all so good and so poppy and so, and for the most part, so powerful that it keeps me hanging on.
Oh, my. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get your grade down here. Here we go. I'll go ahead and follow that up with, this is okay. I wish I could tell you that I really enjoy a cover album. This month is going to be kind of rough for me to go through, and it's not that I'm hating things. I like to be able to listen to different takes on songs, but we've already talked about it. I'm the kind of guy that's just like, okay, well, this is a song I've heard before. There's nothing new here, and they've really got to make it their own. Now, here's the problem. Here's where I'm handicapped coming into this album. I don't know much about Mystic Prophecy beforehand, so I have no idea what their original sound is. I can tell that when they've definitely infused some metal into this, into a song, because I know what the original sounds like, and I can appreciate what they're bringing to the table there. So for myself, I don't know if I can give this a good ranking or not. I'm trying to think of where I would put it. Would I go back to it? I'd probably go back to it more than I would OTEP's Cult 45. So I'll put it at 25. I'll do that. It's going to be low, and I think we're going to have very different ratings here. And what did you say you were going to give Power Gloves Continue?
A B.
A B. Okay. All right. Well, Power Glove, I'll put up there probably around Cruachan, our good buddies over at Cruachan. Which, by the way, the guys over at Cruachan at least put a public Facebook post out letting us know that the baby from the Blood for the Blood God is and will be safe. She is safe right now. She is 5 years old. And she was not actually sacrificed to the blood god. Thank goodness. All right.
Well, that mystery was cleared up.
Yes. I know people were probably hanging on for dear life trying to figure out what actually happened. That might be why he put it out there. He probably got a lot of inquiries because of our own podcast and our own Metal Hammer of Doom Extra, where we got really saddened by the death of the baby. So anyway.
Let me tell you something, Jesse. At the end of every one of these podcasts, I usually will download an album and then, save it to its own playlist on Spotify. And then I go, and then as soon as we're done with this podcast, I usually get rid of it. I'm not getting rid of this one. This is staying on my saved, downloaded playlist because, it's my favorite thing to play at work that isn't a podcast.
I will. I understand what you're saying there. I understand your love of covers. It's been, 1 week since you looked at me, 3 years since I've been on this podcast. So, yeah, I know what Mark Radulich digs, and this doesn't surprise me. So, now next week, what do we got coming up next week?
I think next week you're gonna like this one. This is it's all country covers by Devil Driver.
Okay.
Outlaws Till the End. So, I mean, you're talking about an entirely different style, more so than this one. So this was like pop songs, some rock, some pop songs of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. This is all country. It's going to be tuned up and played fast. It's going to be, it's going to be rode hard and walk dry, or hung up wet, or whatever the fuck the phrase goes.
It's going to be banging a gong.
That's right. That's right. Hit that nipple.
I don't understand.
Press the button. Press the button. Connect the goddamn dots. That's a lot of references right there. All right. So that's what we got going on. I'm not going to go into the whole series of plugs here. Just know that we reviewed Venom on Damn You Hollywood with Jason Teasley on. Source material, we looked at another Venom book. It was a Lethal Protector. It was his first ever own 6-issue miniseries. Next week, we'll have a TV party tonight for Hannibal. We're going to look at Haunted Night Batman, which is a series of Legends of the Dark Knight one-shots for Halloween. And we'll also do a TV party tonight for Castlevania. So check out all that content when you get a chance. Go ahead, Jesse. Take us home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, go give the Rattlich in Broadcasting Network Facebook page a like to stay up on top of all the great podcasts that we have to offer. We are on Stitcher. We are on TuneIn. We are right here at home on Spreaker.com. We're also on Spotify. And, hey, Mark, from what I understand, news just hit. We're trying to get on Deezer. Did you know that?
That's right. We got the opportunity through Spreaker to have our podcast distributed by Deezer Nuts.
I don't know if the nuts part is correct, but either way, if you have access to that platform or any of those other platforms that I just mentioned, type in RADULICH, and you should be able to search, find our podcast, Rattlich and Broadcasting Network. Subscribe. You're more than welcome to rate our podcast as well. We'd love to hear from you if you'd like to get in touch with us. Facebook's probably the best way. Hop on there and let us know on the Rattlich and Broadcasting Network Facebook page. Other than that, Mark, I'm ready to get the hell on out of here. I'm ready to go bang a gong. How about you?
Oh, bang that gong, Jesse Starcher. Get it on, bang a gong. All right, but for Jesse Starcher, who is about to get it on, bang a gong, I am your mandated reporter and your rock and roll nigger, Mr. Mark Rattlich. Be well.
I'm cringing. Can you hear the cringe?
Be well, be safe, and annoy your teacher.